At the scene, they had pronounced me dead. A whole bunch of things happened, whatever. Came back to life.
You said that so nonchalant, bro. Yeah, I just came back to life and shit. Like,
so yeah, it already happened.
Yeah. My cousin is in this stage in his life where he's like, bro, I'm getting a motorcycle. Nah. But then I saw what happened to you, and I'm like, probably not gonna get a motorcycle. What's the difference between the Middle Eastern crowd in Detroit versus the Middle Eastern crowd in California?
Definitely different.
More hood.
I went from almost 200 to 144.
60 pounds?
I wasn't eating.
They weren't feeding you?
No, because you can't eat. They were feeding me through tubes.
Cut up filet mignon or something and just like put it in the IV or something. You gotta...
Looking outside and how like the news broadcasts it, it's not at all like that. You just go there, not trying to be malicious, not trying to be an asshole, staying in your own lane. You won't get a problem, bro.
Yo, welcome back to the Heatin' Up podcast, the hottest podcast in the game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, follow, rate, all that good stuff. But again, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today is a very special episode because I am sat with one of my childhood friends that I haven't seen in over 10 years now. He's built himself up to be one of the hottest promoters in Detroit and is currently doing bigger and better things. But I thought it'd be nice to have a conversation with him while he's here in Arizona. So I have my brother, Martin George.
What up, Jacob?
Welcome on, bro.
Thank you.
Long time no see.
Long time no see, man.
Got a lot to catch up on. But, bro, first of all, again, it's great to have you. I think the cool part about this stuff is, like, you know, I recorded, like, an episode with my dad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The coolest part about this is, like, looking back at it in a few years, bro. We're going to sit down and watch all this. Like, regardless of the views, regardless of all that stuff, it's going to be just dope to have.
A good memory.
Very good memory.
Great
so,
memory to make.
Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. And let's just talk about some stuff, bro. So, first off, you're out in Detroit now. Yeah. I haven't seen you in a long time, bro, but I've been seeing you online, social media, stuff like that. Big promoter now.
Thank God. Yeah.
What is life in Detroit like for you now, and how's that? How'd you even get into that space, bro?
So, I mean, basically, you know, I left Cali at a very young age. I know you know that. So I just, you know, right when I got there, I was just kind of into making friends. You know, got around certain crowds, met certain people. You know, over the time, you know, the people you meet, you know, multiple more people through them. So it just kind of comes as an opportunity, especially when you're already going to parties. You know, I kind of saw it as, I'm already here all the time, I'm spending money, why not make it, you know, something that I could profit off of. Mm-hmm. So talked to some people, got into it, started learning it a little bit, and then I ended up starting my own company, which was called Zero Entertainment. But I'd gotten an offer from Elevate, which is it is the biggest promoting team in Michigan. They've promoted in Miami and multiple other places. They offered me to join them.
Pull your mic in just a little bit there.
There you
A
go.
little bit more.
More?
No, like in.
In?
Yeah.
Like that?
No. Up.
What do you,
in.
Up? In? No, like here?
In. Like tilt, like move it.
Okay,
the arm.
the
arm.
Oh,
yep,
this?
move it closer to your mouth.
Okay, like this. This is like here?
Is it close to your mouth?
Yeah, this is...
Oh, is it? Oh, my bad. My fault, bro. Continue. No, my bad.
No, you're good.
So I was looking at the audio track. I'm like, why is that cutting up? You're good.
I have
you're good,
no
you're
idea,
good.
but it's right here.
No, you're good.
I don't want to hit it if I move.
My bad, bro.
No, you're good.
You were saying that, like, you started getting into it, meeting friends, and just getting into it more with Elevate. And you started that in your company.
Correct. Elevate was the biggest promoting team in Michigan. I knew one of the guys. He had told me, you know, why don't you join? I ended up thinking about it. I ended up joining Elevate. Now we're doing amazing. We started a TikTok, we have a Snapchat, Instagram, we have our own photographer on payroll. It's amazing. It's a very nice company. Most of our parties are sold out. So we're expanding to more places and then eventually out of state.
Mm-hmm. So is that the goal? Like, you want to continue in this promoting scene? You want to continue doing stuff like that, or is the plan bigger than just promoting?
It's of course it's bigger. You know, nobody ever wants to limit themselves. As in for promoting and timing wise, how long I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do as much as I can for the company now. Try to get it further. So then by the time I leave, it's already basically all set. We want to make it bigger than just promoting, just like throwing parties in Michigan based. We want to make it, you know, all over. We want to get bigger on, you know, social medias, of course. But as in for me, until I get engaged, you know, that's just one thing for me. I feel like when I'm engaged and, you know, I'm at that stage in my life, I'm already going to be doing other things business wise, most likely not gonna be in Michigan or gonna have time to be promoting. You know what I mean?
Coming to Arizona, or
Of course, of course.
but I'm curious, bro. Like Detroit, obviously, it has a reputation for how dangerous it is and stuff like that. I've lived good in Arizona, bro. Like we're pretty soft out here, I'd say. It's nothing crazy compared to Detroit, of course. You lived in California a long time.
Correct.
Compared to Detroit versus California, what has been like the biggest difference you've seen? I know like you weren't promoting in California at the time because you were just a kid, but like how has it been promoting in Detroit versus like all the clubs and stuff like that? You go out of state and you see how that vibe is.
Yeah, so it's way different because it's a way different crowd. Mainly you see like when you go to Miami, it's different music. Of course we have Detroit music, which is I personally think it's own genre because either you like it or you don't. We play a lot of that in the clubs, and it's definitely its own thing is what I'm saying. It's not like partying in Miami. It's not like partying in on an island or whatever you're doing. It's way different. So yeah, in that sense, it's very different. I don't think it's alike at all. So
and like you live there, bro. From the outside looking in, here in Detroit, it's dangerous. But like you living there, is it dangerous to you anymore, or is it just a home? Like it's just that is what it is.
So, most of my work was in Detroit. Pretty bad areas like Kelly and Hayes, 6 Mile, Nevergreen. We had a whole lot of other places. It's looking outside and how like the news broadcasts it, it's not at all like that. I feel like if you just go there not trying to be malicious, not trying to be an asshole, staying in your own lane, you won't get a problem, bro. People will be cool with you.
So it's calm. Because I remember we were talking about it off camera when you came out, and you were talking about how like, okay, wait, Arizona, like you guys don't like chill at like gas stations, or you guys don't have these people in this part and this part and this part. I'm like, no, bro, like we just don't fuck with each other here. Like we're just kind of like everyone's doing their own thing. But in Detroit, it's more like, I don't want to say like gangy, but it is in a way, groups. So it's like in that sense, do you like that? Do you think it's good that way?
I love that. So like we have a couple places around where I live that are, you just know everybody from there because obviously a gas station that's right by your house, why would you drive to one that's 5 more minutes away, etc. Everybody, when you go there, it's like we have a lot of car meets in Michigan. Especially on weekends. If you go there, even if it's 2 a.m., there's still going to be cars there after car meets or before car meets or before racing. So it's like when you're in the, because I had a Camaro before. Now I have an AMG. So obviously I know the people from there. You have friends that work there over time. You meet people. So it's kind of like that group hangs out there. That's kind of, it's just, it has its own area. And then like there's other groups that hang out at like a hookah lounge. It's just,
And to be real, bro, like we're Middle Eastern, bro.
Correct.
Big Middle Eastern population out there.
Huge.
Like I'm pretty sure I might be number 1 in America. I don't know the stats on that, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely up there. My sister and I were talking about it, but again, like the Middle Eastern crowd, I feel like the Middle Easterns there are different though. Like it's not like, your traditional Middle Eastern that you have in mind, bro. It's very like, different is the word I would use for it.
Yeah.
But like because California, you lived in California, a lot of Middle Easterns there too. But what's the difference between the Middle Eastern crowd in Detroit versus the Middle Eastern crowd in California?
In Detroit, they're
more hood. You want to say that?
Definitely different, Yeah. In California, there's just Arab there. No offense at all. Our family, we have family.
We are, bro. Like, it is what it is.
But they're not as traditional, I should say.
In Detroit?
No, in California. In Detroit, the older generation, like the parents are, but the kids are starting not to be.
Okay.
Of course, we weren't born. I wasn't born in Iraq. I wasn't born in America. I was born in Iraq. So it's definitely like changing as the years go, because obviously not everybody's born in Iraq. They're born here.
And living in Detroit, do you feel like you still have your like cultural roots, or is that kind of slip away?
No, you do.
You do.
It's there's certain places that are just filled with Arabs. So it's like, you know, all Arabic food in the area, etc. If you ever,
which sounds amazing. But I've never been to Detroit, but I definitely got to make a trip out there. But it sounds really dope. The car stuff, I maybe I'm just not into it here, but I don't really think Arizona has like a car scene.
It's not as crazy. I don't think. I'm not like Detroit is most videos that you see of Detroit is surrounded around cars doing donuts, spinning. We have slideshows.
Like how did you get into that? Was it because of the place you lived? It just kind of like grew on you because you saw everyone else doing it?
Not necessarily. Everywhere you go in Michigan, there's gonna be some type of muscle car, some type of sports car, some Mercedes, BMW, Charger, Challenger, Hellcat, Trackhawk. You know, and as you get older, I talk to older people. I didn't really talk to a lot of younger people when I, you know, through high school. So they were all getting cars and stuff, and you know, eventually you had friends that got nicer cars. And, you know, I personally, my first car was a BMW, you know, and then
had to, bro. You're Middle Eastern. Yeah. You had to fit the culture.
Since then, I went to like 2 other BMWs. I went to a Chrysler 300, and then I went to the Camaro, and then I went to now my AMG, and then I had my motorcycle on the side.
Which, speaking of your motorcycle, bro, can we just talk about that for a second? Okay, I need you to talk about this because my cousin who does this podcast with me is in this stage in his life where he's like, bro, fuck it, I'm getting a motorcycle. No. It doesn't matter, I'm getting a motorcycle. He's in that part, okay? And I'm telling him, I'm like, dog, listen, I know, I've been there. Yeah. But then I saw what happened to you, and I'm like,
terrible, man.
Probably not gonna get a motorcycle. You had one of the craziest accidents on a motorcycle. You really shouldn't even be sitting here today. Yeah. Genuinely. And thank God you are. Yeah. But kind of explain that situation, bro, because your motorcycle accident was no joke. Like it made the news. So
yeah. So I had a CBR, pretty fast bike. I had just gotten it. It was Memorial Day. I was on my way back from the beach. It was very hot. So my backpack on. I had my gear on actually. I had a jacket on and pants on, you know, for riding, my shoes. Got very, very hot on Memorial Day. So I remember pulling over. I took because I was about to pass out. I didn't have water. Took my jacket off, took my pants off, put them in my bag. I had my shorts and my button up on. So we're at the beach. So it was just that on. I get off, you know, I start riding again. I'm near my house and out of nowhere, it's just like a drunk driver. I don't remember. I blacked out right away.
Was it nighttime or evening?
No, it was daytime.
Daytime, okay.
Yeah, it was around 4 or 5 o'clock, so it was still very sunny out. Sunset was out like 7:30 at that time, you know, 8. So drunk driver, I didn't know. It was a older white guy. He was 61 years old. He had came out and he had hit me. He was trying to come out of a plaza. It's called Myers. It's kind of like a Walmart. I know you guys don't have that here.
No clue.
So he was coming out of that. I was just going straight, and I tried to avoid him. I guess that's what the cop told me from the video I seen, and I just started flipping. My femur popped out of my leg, like my bone popped out of my leg. I had facial reconstruction. Ribs were broken. I still have scars on my arm, and my hip was fractured, neck, everything.
The craziest part is, bro, like, I haven't seen you in 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know about it when it happened. Yeah. When I found out about it, you were like, oh, bro, take a look at these photos. Like, that's literally how you brought it up. And I'm like, what do you mean you got in an accident? Like, what happened? Like, I had no clue. Because we kept in touch, but it was kind of very on and off. Correct. Not like now. Like, now we're a lot closer, which, I'm happy about. But the pictures were insane, bro. Like,
it was pretty bad.
I mean,
it was very bad, actually, because at the scene, basically, they had pronounced me dead. Whole bunch of things happened, whatever, came back to life. They ended up taking
You said that's so nonchalant, bro. Yeah, it just came back to life and shit. Like,
you know, they ended up taking me to the hospital where I had brain bleeding and swelling as well. It was very bad. So they airlifted me all the way down to a hospital in Detroit, which was about, driving wise, was like 30, 45 minutes, like between that time, depending on traffic. So they couldn't drive me there. I would have died. They ended up airlifting me. I was in a coma after, my body rested from, the steroid shots that they injected me with. And 7 days I was out. I went from almost 200 to 144, 143.
60 pounds, bro.
Because I wasn't eating.
They weren't feeding you? Is that legal?
I'm gonna. How you want me?
Well, I don't know. Cut up filet mignon or something and just like put in the IV or something. You gotta. That's crazy,
bro. No, because you can't eat. They were feeding me through tubes.
And for 7 days.
Yeah.
Coma.
Mm-hmm.
And what were the chances like of your survival, bro? Like
I didn't ask. They didn't tell me.
You didn't even ask? Oh my god. Because again, I know your parents, bro. I can only
It was
imagine.
low, I know it was low because I remember every day they were at the hospital. Like they didn't leave the hospital because especially the brain bleeding and swelling. They made me stay there for that long.
Mm-hmm. So when you woke up, I mean, what is a coma like, bro? Like you just wake up like a blink of an eye.
I don't remember it.
Did you feel like time passed?
I woke up confused. I didn't even remember the accident. I didn't remember I had a motorcycle. I didn't remember nothing. I don't even now thinking back at it. I can only remember I only know stories of what people told me when I woke up, like the nurses.
You have no recollection of
actually waking up. Yeah,
that's insane, bro. And the recovery process. I mean, you for what it was, for you being in like almost perfect condition, bro. Like nobody would have noticed, other than the scars, obviously. But like those are pretty cool. But anyway, like for coming out of an accident like that, being perfect, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank God. God is good.
It is. Good, yeah. It is truly remarkable, bro. And I'm happy to hear it. But motorcycles, what's your take on them now? Do you think people should actually be driving? Like they are one of the most dangerous things on the planet. Like you are literally exposed fully, driving as fast as you fucking want on this little thing that can. It's like a skateboard, bro. You hit a pebble, you're gone.
No,
so maybe not like that.
That's not true. That's not true.
But you can see what happens when you do get clipped. I mean, obviously, anybody getting in an accident is gonna hurt.
Of course.
But this dude, I feel like everyone has a stage where they're like, "Oh, bro, motorcycles are dope."
It is a stage, but it's like what I would say. I feel like once you learn how to ride, there's no getting off of it. So I feel like if you don't already know how to ride, don't get into it. Because in that case, you're doing it to yourself purposely. Like with knowing it, because you have people that have road warning you. So if you're hearing this, don't learn how to ride.
Unfortunately, he's one of those people that just have to learn by experience. Unfortunately,
that's what happened with me.
Yeah. So would you ever get a motorcycle again? Dog.
No.
There was a hesitation though.
A lot of people wouldn't let me. A lot of people that I wouldn't want to make.
Okay. So no. That's fair. And I can't imagine your parents were happy about you even buying one in the first place, bro. Like knowing the danger and stuff like that.
So I parked it at the house. I told them it was a bike that I was fixing to sell. And I would just always take it out.
How long did you have it for, by the way?
Before
the whole thing?
Well, I've been riding for a while.
Okay.
I didn't have my own bike. And then I bought one. And I had that one for a couple months, sold it. But I've been riding for pretty much one riding season, one whole riding season.
What is that? Is that a year?
Nah, it's like half a year.
Oh, okay.
And then like sometimes when it wasn't that cold,
gotcha.
we would take
Yeah,
it out,
yeah.
Of course, Michigan, it snows.
Yeah, but granted, like you didn't do anything wrong in this. Like, bro, y'all drive crazy. So no.
They saw it. They caught it all on camera.
Okay. And what happened to the guy, bro? That you can't just be like, "Hey, my bad," and just.
My knowledge, he got out the same day. Yeah.
It's not manslaughter or nothing, bro. Like you.
I
guess you lived, so that helped.
I don't know what's going on with this court.
But you're like hands off of it now. It's just whatever. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, happy to have you here, bro.
Thank you.
But let's switch it up a little bit, bro. Middle Eastern culture. You're promoting. You're in the club scene. I can't imagine again. Me knowing your parents, they were very chill, and I love them. But it's not a typical engineer, doctor, lawyer. It's like one of those things you typically do as a Middle Eastern. So you branched out a good amount. Yeah. How did they feel about the career choice you decided to take? And like, what do they think about it now?
So you got to understand this though. My parents know that's not my main. It's just a side hustle. Like they know eventually I'm going to be out of it. Like as of right now, I'm just doing it because it's great for meeting people for business and it's great for money. and eventually it'll get bigger. So I do believe that, and I'm very close with the group. You know, I love the guys. We have Jamil, Meebo, Marvin. You know, they're all great guys. You know, so I wouldn't. You know, it's something that they know where when I'm going, I'm taken care of, because it's more, of course, of a safety thing.
Yeah.
Of course, there's that how people look at you, but at the end of the day, bro, if you come to Michigan, it's 10 times worse than everybody else is doing. I'm just throwing parties.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing parties and having alcohol there, and you know, everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. So the parents are just kind of chill about it. But again, because
they
know.
Still hate it, but it's
okay.
I'm not gonna tell you they like it. They despise the fact that, you know,
this is what you do. Yeah.
But they know it's at the end of the day I could leave that and not.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So that's fair.
Yeah.
And how dangerous is it, bro? Like, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you while you've been promoted? Yeah.
It was this guy. We were on the. So craziest thing that's happened. Let's see. So there was this guy. So basically, this one club, it has like a stairwell going up into the club, and there's all the booths in front of you. On the stairwell, right on top, right before you walk into the club. So there's the stairwell, and there's like that little room, and then there's no door. You just walk straight in. I was promoting with Elevate that night. We had a huge party, sold out event. We just walked by the stairs, me and one of the guys, his name's Adil. We walked by the stairs.
Middle Eastern?
And yes.
Okay.
And we just see him like choking out his girlfriend. He's like telling her, but I love you. He's choking her out. So listen, bro, we were like, yo. And then, because we're not really allowed to touch him.
Really? Even with that? Oh, I guess you guys aren't like, you know, security.
Employees.
Yeah.
He ran to call security. I look back again. He just socks her in her mouth. And bro, I'm just looking, I'm like, yo, I grab him by the side of like his arm.
Yeah.
And then the other promoter comes, he also pushes him, and security just comes right away, pulls him from in front of us, and like drags him outside. Now the craziest part is we walked downstairs after him. Security took him outside. His girlfriend's like, please stop. The same one he was hitting. And she left with him.
I never understood how those relate. I can't speak on. I don't understand the dynamic there.
Terrible.
Like, it is terrible, bro. And the fact that, first of all, he's just gonna get away with it. Like, it's just fine. I guess you can't report for the girl, right? Like, it's not.
And at the end of the day, the cops are always notified. You know, when something like that happens, it's just how fast they can get there.
Yeah, man, bro. I hope people can find the power to get out of relationships like that.
Of course,
shit is
bro.
crazy.
It's sad because she was crying, and I was like to her, "Excuse me, are you okay?" She was like, "Don't touch me. Tell him to stop." And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" He just punched you 4 or 5 times.
And do you see a lot of like relationship? I mean, it's a club, so it's like you see all walks of life there. But like, do you see like what's the weirdest thing you usually see? Like,
that was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Worst thing you've ever seen.
Usually everybody's just having their time, bro.
Yeah.
Hugging their girl, you know, if their girl's dancing on them, if that's their thing, if they want to be seen like that's them. Everybody's just vibing, bro. But that's by far, that was like the moment that got me like, damn, like this is
recent though. You said you've been, it was with an Elevate event. So like that has to be recent.
It was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Have you seen them since?
No, they won't show their face back there again.
No. Do you get banned for stuff like that, or no? It's just really like, all right, we'll see y'all next week.
Ban you for stuff
like
okay.
That. I was gonna
pull
say
your camera through. I mean, they pull your picture through the camera.
Okay,
they have
so
a
they
picture
have
of you and everything, and they scan IDs. So
that's
they got
insane,
a picture
bro.
of you. They have somebody that goes through them, and when they scan your ID, it's a whole picture of your ID. They print it. You're not allowed to go in, and now when they scan your ID, it tells them that.
Oh, they see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's how it works.
It's very, like, their machines are very.
Yeah. But that's so you haven't had any, I mean, guns are pretty prominent in Detroit, no? Like, how does that look in terms of security? Obviously, they're not going to let people walk in with guns, but is that a problem?
So
like, do you guys deal with it?
You can't walk in guns.
Yeah.
No. Me as a promoter, I don't go in there with a gun. Security has guns. You know, we know the security. We know they're well trained. We know everybody that walks in there isn't going to have a gun. Because they check, they have metal detectors, like, you know, the wands, and then they pat you down as well. They check you. Any jackets go in the, you know, coat check. So anything goes down, what's going to happen is a fight, you know, maybe if they want to use a bottle, but
yeah. So
that's anywhere pretty much.
Yeah.
Any club, if anything.
That's
goes
fair.
down.
And again, like, I know you're promoting in Detroit right now. You don't plan on staying in Detroit forever, obviously, I'd imagine.
Not at all. My goal is...
do you want to do enough to make it out of there, or do you want to leave and then start something new? Or a mix?
Of course. So, money right now, as we know, is mainly remote. So, of course, if I find a remote income that's worth it to move out, all I really got to do is, as you know, in Arabs, we got to take care of our family, buy them a house. And then, of course, you know, if I tell them I have business opportunities elsewhere,
gotta take it. Yeah.
And they see the amount that's going on, etc.
And how hard do you think, like, for someone who's like thinking about getting into promoting, how hard is it actually look? People from the outside in, like, I'll have friends who promote, and truly, I don't even know what they do. I'm just like, I see them post about this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how the income structure works. I don't know how hard it is. What would you say is like the hardest part, and how easy is it to get into this type of field? So there's
two things. If you could be known by 1,000 people, realistically, but it all depends on the people that you text to pull up, on the people that will actually pull up and buy a booth and spend the money in that booth. If you don't have people that'll actually show up to the club or get a booth here and there, and you can't sell out a place, you don't have a good solid group behind you, don't do it. Just because it's, you know, if you already build a bad relationship with clubs, like if you promise them, oh, this amount of people are coming, this amount of booths are going to be sold, and you can't deliver 3, 4, 5, 6 times, it's a very bad name. Then nobody's going to want to work with you. Even if you do build that clientele, still nobody's going to trust you to work with you. So I'd say study it, get to know the people that are in it, and mainly just make sure you have those people, you know, that are willing to pull up, that are willing, you know.
So it's really, it's a high network job, bro.
And also, you also got to understand, we do have jobs where we have to sell out the whole place because the club does not bring in any people. We do have those places. But it's like you got to kind of pick and choose what places you work at, just because the club also has to bring in people to make it easier. Like at least 20 people, something, just to get it started. Because if you got a couple of people walking, it's completely dead. Most of them don't stick around.
For sure.
So just mainly do your studying on it, and
go from there.
From there.
And you brought up again, Elevate. You're on all social media platforms, but you said TikTok. And as we're aware right now, we're sitting here, bro. They're working on passing a bill to ban TikTok. Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen by the time we post this episode, whether it's gonna go through or not. But I want to get your thoughts on it, bro. Do you think they're actually gonna ban TikTok?
So we're actually just talking about that. We're having a conversation. Someone made a very good point. They were saying, so if it does get banned, it's only going to get banned for a couple months, just because. So Biden's saying he'll pass the bill to ban it. And as you know, today they voted, and by a large percentage, they voted yes to ban it. It was overwhelming, like it was bad.
Yeah.
So and Biden said he'll pass it. So if he does pass it, it'll be banned for a couple months. Then, you obviously have, I personally think, the big two, Trump and Biden. So I feel like everybody thinks to know that it's only going to be them two at the end of it. So it's between
most
Biden
likely.
and Trump. If Trump does end up winning, he said he wouldn't ban TikTok, so it'll be back. Just probably a year max.
That's
by
fair.
Next year.
So it really depends on who wins. In a way, it depends on who. Yeah.
Or if TikTok sells, which you never know. I personally think there could be a small chance, but then me and someone were having a conversation that made me realize that they could still make a lot of money without the U.S.
That's
viewers.
true. Very true.
There's other, everybody uses TikTok.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be a big hit on them, bro.
Huge,
like so.
huge.
So they got to be thinking about that too. But they might be thinking the way you're thinking, like, all right, we just have to wait a few months. That's not a problem. So it's curious to see where it goes from there. Like, I do feel bad for all the creators on there because, like, again, all the memes and shit coming out about it.
And TikTok Shop, actually.
The shop, yeah.
People have quit their jobs to run TikTok
their own
shops
business.
full time. That's a main, like, I know somebody that did do it for a little while. I don't know for what reason they stopped. Maybe I don't ask all that, but they're making about $8,000 a month on TikTok shop.
Oh my God! So that's a big portion of money, bro. So that's
being
being gone. Yeah, exactly.
Middlemaning.
So it'll be interesting to see because even if it is for a few months, I'm actually kind of interested to see how people take it.
It's risky though.
It's very risky.
Yeah.
So again, that's why they always say like extend your platforms, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you're stuck on one platform, this shit can happen. Correct. So we'll see how it goes, bro. But that's really all I had for you. I really do appreciate you coming out, bro. I know you have to fly back out to Detroit fucking at 3 a.m. today. Yes, so appreciate you making the time. No bro, I love you and I'm happy you can make it out. I'm happy we're able to actually sit down with each other and see each other after all these years. Not many people could say after a decade, you know, they're still close. So it's going to be dope to look back on in another decade. We sit down, watch this and maybe run it back another year, bro. Bigger and better. But I love you, man. I love the parents. Let them know I said hi. And Thank you. Man, any last words before we go?
Not much, man. Just, tune in for more episodes. We got some more heat coming. And we'll see y'all next year. We'll do another one.
Let's go. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We love y'all. We will see you guys in the next episode. The Heatin' Up podcast is out.